Good morning. This week's Torah portion of Vayigash has the confrontation of Judah with Joseph. And Judah passionately beseeches Joseph to allow an exchange, that Benjamin, who's been caught red-handed stealing, supposedly was framed, but he was caught with a valuable goblet that had belonged to Joseph in his belongings, and he was accused of theft. He was supposed to be jailed and put into bondage for that. And Judah pleads, let him be, instead of Benjamin, to be the servant, to be the slave, for he has put his life on the line, both his physical and spiritual life, in a vow to his father that he would protect Benjamin, and that if Benjamin doesn't come back, that he would lose his portion of the world to come and remain a sinner forever. And therefore he pleads, let me do this, even though I know for sure that he's innocent. Let me be in his place. And of course we know that Joseph breaks down and cries, and this causes a stir in the political halls of power in Egypt, and they realize that this is Joseph's family, and it says that it found favor in their eyes. I don't know about you, but I find it strange. A family of 70 plus souls, probably numbering about 200 or so people. Of course, you have to include women and small children and helpers and cattle. They're all coming down to feed off of the fat of the land. We're talking about a land that's ravished in hunger, famine. Why would the political powers be favorable to the family of Joseph at that time? Why would they be inclined to have Joseph's family occupy some of the lands that could be used for cattle of their own? Why should this find favor in their eyes? So the response that I have is not that they found favor, that the family found favor in the eyes of the political savants, but rather Joseph found favor at that point in their eyes, and as a result of that, they looked favorably to the family of Joseph. Up until that point, Joseph had not found favor in their eyes. They respected his insight and his awareness and his knowledge, his godly knowledge, but they didn't like him. Why didn't they like him? He was handsome, he was brilliant, he saved their skins. Why would they not like such a person? So the answer that I'm going to tell you is a spiritual answer, but it's an answer that is true across the board for everyone who will listen. As long as you're wrapped up in anger with someone, as long as you are angry and focus your anger on that person, and you can't forgive that person, you're attached to that person. That person is attached to you because that person hurt you. But you're also attached to that person. Your anger causes you to be focused spiritually upon that person. And you cannot divest yourself from that person to doing what you need to do. I told you the story of a girl who was jilted by someone who appeared to have interest in marrying her. The young man decided that it wouldn't go. Explained why. But he had to ask her for forgiveness. Why did he have to ask her for forgiveness? He explained why. The answer is, it's not good enough to explain why something won't work out. If someone loves you and you love that person, decide it's not going to work out, it's a very deep pain. You have to listen to that person. You have to say, I'm sorry, I do care for you, but I don't want to create pain for you. If I'm not going to really, truly love you, it's not going to work out. It's not good for you, just as it's not going to be good for me. Please forgive me. And that's how a relationship should end. Please forgive me. But that's not what happened, and she was still angry. But as long as she was angry, she couldn't please, and she couldn't give herself over and connect with another man. So she never was able to marry until she forgave this young man who had jilted her. In a similar vein, Joseph is angry at his family. And even if he's not thinking about it, it overwhelms him. He's thanking God every day for making him forget and giving him all of this wealth and power. But behind it all is a deep-seated anger. It doesn't go away. He's connected to the people who he's angry with. And when you're connected to someone else, you can't connect to another person. Finding favor in other people's eyes require you to connect with them. If you're not connecting with them emotionally, they feel you're distant. They feel that you're aloof. They don't feel that you care for them. And they don't like you. And therefore the Torah said it was good in their eyes. What was good in their eyes? Joseph was good in their eyes. And because Joseph was good in their eyes, then his extended family was good in their eyes. They were able to, at that moment, like Joseph. And because they liked Joseph, they welcomed his family and thought it was a good idea. What are the implications here? It's been over a week. The president has stuck a knife in the back of the Jewish people, the people of Israel. Make no mistake about this. It's a knife that will continue to attack and to hurt the Jewish people living in Israel and elsewhere. It focuses on Jewish settlements and not on the violence of Islam, murdering hundreds of thousands of their own, killing tens of thousands of Christians this year alone. Not focusing on Aleppo, not focusing on the ceasefire, not focusing on ISIS, not focusing on Hamas, not focusing on the people who murder and rape and pillage hundreds and thousands of girls each year, Boko Haram, and all of those wondrous organizations. The United Nations, whose vast majority are from nations that are run by tyrants, evildoers, gangsters, and thieves, the one country that they focus on more than anything else is Israel. And Obama helped make this happen. Not only did he help make it happen, he was behind it. As I told you last week, a week and a half ago, he was behind it. Israel now has proof, 100% documented proof of their complicity in this UN resolution. And it will go down in history as an act of perfidy. And we will never forget this. At least I won't. And I don't believe millions of Jews will forget what Obama did in the last 3 weeks of his terrible presidency. The most ineffective presidents in Jiminy Cricket Carter. I didn't want to talk about these things because I was afraid that he might do something. But he is the most ineffective, the most pompous, the most insecure wimp of a president we've had since Jiminy Carter. He's used the presidency to destroy the institutions of America under the guise of progressivism, under the guise of racial equality, under the guise of social justice. Destroyed its infrastructure, attacking millions of jobs because it didn't fit in with the liberal agenda. That being said, he stuck a knife in Israel, and Israel is angry. So my advice to the people of Israel is to do exactly what they're doing now, to ignore this, to ignore the man, to not be angry, not to forgive him. We will not forgive. You don't forgive Amalek. But not to be emotionally involved, to cast it off, not to be focused. To be focused only what we need to do for Jewish survival, which is exactly what they're doing now. Netanyahu had a conversation with Putin. Why? Because Netanyahu finally realized what the Lubavitcher Rebbe told the Israelis almost 40 years ago. Stop relying so much on the United States. Negotiate with Russia. Talk to them. See what commonality you might have with them. Because that will allow you independence, that you will not be dependent upon one power. Israel cannot be independent as long as it places its trust in something else other than God. Yes, we have to get along with America. Yes, Trump may turn out to be our best friend, ever. We do not know that. We don't know what he's going to do. I hope it'll be good. But we do not believe in what Laura Ingraham said, in Trump we trust. We believe in what it says on the dollar bill. We believe in God we trust. We have to move away from the anger. Doesn't mean you're not upset with President Obama. Doesn't mean you're not upset with the Democratic Party who sold you out. And make no mistake about it. John Kerry, Hillary Clinton, and Barack Obama are the controllers of the ideology of the Democratic Party. And it's not going to change in 4 years, no matter what they say. And liberalism is not Judaism. It's not even a poor excuse for exchange. Yes, we believe in helping the downtrodden and the poor, but not under the banner of socialism, or social justice, or Black Lives Matter, or liberalism. That's not what we believe. We believe in helping people. We believe in teaching people to help themselves. We believe in personal responsibility. We believe that things that people make choices, bad choices for, people have to learn how to make good choices. That being said, we have to move away from that. Move away from the anger. Move toward doing what you need to do to survive. And you know what happens when you remove yourself from anger? You don't have to forgive the perfidy of Barack Obama. Just get over that you're not dependent on him and he's not dependent on you. Get over the fact that America may not be your friend. Get over that. Remember that you have a big friend in heaven, and that's all that matters, is your big friend in heaven. But what are we going to do here? You have to do what you need to do to survive. And when you realize that you have to survive and not be upset because you're really dependent upon America, when you're no longer dependent on America, others will like you. Even America will like you more. The more you show that you're dependent upon America, the less they will like you. The more you show that you can handle your own affairs, the better liked you will be. You may not get as much foreign aid, but you know what? It's time for Israel to grow up and say, I don't want your help. I don't need your help. I just want you to get out of my way. Don't stand in my way for protecting. Let me protect myself, which is what Obama did. Israel should not be angry at Obama. You should be thankful to Obama for making you realize that you cannot be reliant upon a nation, a physical entity. You have to be reliant on God. It is not Obama who runs the world, it is God who runs the world. And by equating Obama with God, you wound up having the support of neither. It's time to focus only on God and doing what it takes to ensure your security, which is including negotiating with the United States, but also negotiating with Russia. And by not being dependent, by removing your anger that comes from a sense of dependency, you will be liked by Russia, even by the Arabs, and even by the United States. Remember, in God we trust, and in no one else.